26 directors, 26 different ways to die. This is the ABCs of death.
Jidai-geki, yellow little
The ABCs of Death is an anthology horror film in which each director is given a letter of the alphabet and they have to take that letter and use it to describe some kind of death. And beyond that, they're given free rein to do whatever they want. They can make it as disturbing as they want, as scary as they want, as funny as they want. And because of this, you get totally just different genres, totally different styles, and it's really exciting because you never know what's going to happen next. And it is a lot of fun. Unfortunately, like most anthology films, the film is very hit or miss, very scattershot, but I have to say, there are more hits than misses, and even the ones that were bad, I found them, most of the time, I found them enjoyable. Like, I still watched them and enjoyed watching them, even though I knew they were bad. It was an entertaining film because they come in such quick succession that you're never really bored. There were a couple times where it definitely goes down, and those are kind of the worst ones, but for the most part it's really entertaining even though it's hit or miss, and I think if you're a horror fan, you're going to really love it. Now, I'd like to give a warning. I'm going to be explaining some of the titles of the shorts in this review, and some of the fun of the movie is not knowing what the death is going to be. So you could interpret this as potential spoilers. So if you don't want to know what the name of the shorts are, you should probably stop watching here and come back after you've actually seen the movie. But if you don't care, then carry on and enjoy my review. Now, there's 26 different segments in the ABCs of Death, and I'm not going to be able to get into every single one, but I will go through some of my favorites. Starting off with D is for Dogfight. This was definitely one of my favorites. It was the first one to really make me go alright, this is going to be good. A, B, and C were not the best, even though C was alright, but D was the first one where I was like, yes, we're going good here. It was well directed, it was exciting, it was suspenseful, and it was one of the most purely entertaining ones. They did a great job of making the dog seem like he was biting the man, and I really loved it. It was very exciting, and the one thing that really kind of sent it over the edge for me, where I was like, this is awesome, was just the little baby that was watching the dog fight. Like, it was so weird and just so sudden and random, but that's totally, I love that. I thought it was great. It made me laugh, but it was also, I mean, it's kind of creepy. Another one that I really liked was J is for Jidai-geki. I'm not really sure how to say it, some Japanese word, but basically I thought that one was really funny. It's very irreverent and random, but I was laughing really hard. It's kind of stupid, but I just thought it was so funny. And that was probably, for me, it got the most laughs, and I really enjoyed it. Another one that I can't really say I enjoyed, but I can definitely say I appreciate for its filmmaking aspects, was L is for Libido. This one was very disturbing, it was very messed up, but I have to give it props because it definitely, watching it was difficult and it was scary, and it was definitely a viewing experience to remember. I really like the setup for this one because I enjoy movies that are battles to the death. I enjoy Battle Royale and stuff like that, and while this one was a bit more messed up than most, I still found it entertaining, not really in a good way, because it was very disturbing, and I thought it gets they go a bit too far in one point, and if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about, and it gets just a bit too messed up and disturbing, but yeah, I'm not weird. Don't look at me like that. But my favorite one was Q is for Quack. I thought it was the most clever, it was very funny, and I thought it was just kind of the best idea. They took their letter and they did the best they could with it. I thought it was hilariously written, I loved it, and I can't really explain why I loved it without just explaining the plot, but it was the most entertaining, it was one of the funniest, it was definitely the most clever, it was definitely great. Now I'm going to be getting into some of the worst letters, and I'm going to start off with A is for Apocalypse. Now, I was kind of surprised because this was directed by Nacho Vigilando, who directed a great, great movie called Time Crimes. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you check it out. But, yeah, this was bad. It was a terrible way to start the movie. Just absolutely terrible way to just start it off. And I'm sure they gave Nacho Vigilando A because they figured he was going to do something great with it. But no, he messed this one up. Like, the fight scene was poorly done. It was just a lame story. It didn't really have a story, it just happened. My least favorite one was P is for Pressure. Not because it was poorly made or anything, it was just very, very, very boring. I wanted it to be over, and it felt like the longest one. It might not have been the longest one, but it just felt like the longest one because there was no real story to it. It was just, you're just watching like a prostitute walk around for like 5 minutes and nothing happened until the end. It was just so boring, and I just wanted it to be over. That was the one where I was like, alright, I just want this to go on to the next letter. This is stupid. I'd also like to point out Z is for Zetsumetsu and F is for Fart, simply because they were totally messed up and weird, and I don't really think I enjoyed them. They were entertaining, but they were very bizarre, and so I don't really think I liked them, but they had at least the entertaining aspect of them. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with the ABCs of Death. While I would hesitate to call it a good film, I thought it was very entertaining, even though it was very scattershot. Basically, I would watch the trailer, and if you are intrigued by the trailer, you want to see it from that, you'll probably really like the film. So that's how I would judge it. I'm going to end up giving the ABCs of Death a 2.5 out of 5, which is a recommendation because I did enjoy myself, but I just want you to know, make sure you know what you're getting into before you watch it, because it's not for everybody. So let me know what you thought of the ABCs of Death. Did you think it was very entertaining like I did, or could you not stand it? What were your favorite shorts? What was your least favorite short? If you like the words that are coming out of my mouth, then you can follow me on Twitter. Link will be down in the info. And remember to do the rate and the commenting and the subscribing and all that in. And that was the ABCs of Death.